Donald Trump, who ran on the idea that the private sector solves problems and that the government should get out of the way. The man who spent his political career mocking bailouts, who told you that the free market would be the one that punished bad companies, is now simultaneously floating taxpayer bailouts for two very different beneficiaries. One here in the United States and one overseas. Both of them, though, happen to be his friends. It's good to be the king, right? Here in the States, it's Spirit Airlines, the ultra-low-cost carrier and meme factory that went bankrupt last year, came out of bankruptcy, and then just filed yet another bankruptcy. That's 2 bankruptcies in 2 years. And according to the Wall Street Journal, the Trump regime is now putting together a $500 million rescue package for Spirit Airlines in exchange for warrants, meaning the federal government could end up owning stock in Spirit. $500 million for Spirit Airlines, the airline with the seats. You know, those seats, if you've flown Spirit, you know the seats I'm talking about. They're a crime against humanity. And the United States federal government is now spending $500 million to save those seats. Somehow Spirit, in this case, makes Ryanair look more comfortable. If you know, you know. And look, if you remember back to 9/11, there was an airline bailout, and it was congressionally authorized. There was a COVID bailout of airlines, also congressionally authorized. The 2008 auto bailout, Congress authorized that too. And you guessed it, there is no existing legal authority for the Department of Transportation or the Treasury to just rescue one single private airline the way that Trump is currently floating. Which means Donald Trump is floating a bailout that he doesn't even have the legal authority to execute. And his own Transportation Secretary / reality star Sean Duffy has told Reuters this past week, quote, "What we don't want is to put good money after bad." Sean Duffy, Trump's own Transportation Secretary, is on record saying that this is a bad deal and it's going to happen anyway. And now let me look overseas, because this one's even bigger. The UAE, and I want to give a hat tip to Judd Legram over there at Popular Information for this reporting. It's popular.info. If you don't subscribe to him, if you don't follow him, do it. Judd does great work. So look, the UAE has asked the Treasury for what is called a currency swap line. It's basically a big cushion of American dollars to steady their currency because the Iranian war that they helped enable has tanked their economy. Trump has been on the news and was asked about this, and he said that it's being considered because they've been a good ally and that these are unusual times and he would help them if he can.
Is there some type of swap possible, currency swap with the UAE to help if they need it? And do you think there would be backlash because it's such a perceived to be such a wealthy country? Is that under consideration?
It is, but it's been a good country. It's been a good ally of ours. And, you know, these are unusual times. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised because they are really rich. You know, they're very good for this country. So, yeah, if I could help them, I would. I mean, we're helping them much more with what we're doing with the war.
Let's talk about what a good ally the UAE has been. In January, they announced that they wouldn't allow their airspace, their territory, or their territorial waters to be used for any hostile military action against Iran. You got that? When Trump went to war, the UAE said, lovely, count us out, good luck. And that is the country Donald Trump wants your grandkids to subsidize. And here's the part where the grift all comes right back home. You may remember that days before he was inaugurated in 2025, there was an Emirati royal that secretly bought a 49% stake in the Trump family crypto company, World Liberty Financial. An upfront payment of $187 million to the Trump family. An additional $31 million to the family of Steve Witkoff, who happens to be Trump's Middle East envoy. 5 months later, an Emirati state fund chaired by that same sheik used $2 billion of the Trump family crypto to finance a Binance investment, hundreds of millions more for the Trump family. 2 weeks later, the Trump administration sold the UAE hundreds of thousands of AI computer chips that they had been trying to get for years. Oh, and by the way, Jared Kushner, his private equity firm, they've taken about $1.5 billion from the UAE and Qatar since 2024. Not bad. So the UAE gives the Trump family and the Kushner family 9 figures worth of money. The Trump administration makes sure that they get restricted AI computer chips, and the Trump regime takes the country to war with Iran. The UAE's economy tanks because of this war, and the Trump administration is now going to use your tax dollars to bail out the UAE because they got caught in the crossfire of a war they literally refused to participate in. That is grift with a capital G. Actually, it's grift wearing a tuxedo, smoking a cigar with a monocle on the balcony of a super yacht, waving down at you while you are waiting in line at the DMV. Do me a favor. If you are sick and tired of the Trump grift passing under the radar with the regular media, anytime you support any independent media, anytime you like what they do, take a second, leave a comment, leave a like, hit the notification icon, subscribe, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be us. We sure would appreciate it. But independent media like us depend on your interactions so that we can overcome the mainstream media and the algorithm.